Hey, what's up guys? Mass Shiny here, come back with a brand new video for you guys, and today we're going to be looking at some trends and judging where the CSGO market is going to go. Now with Operation Riptide winding down and a couple other major things coming up very soon, we're going to be going over what reasons people are looking towards the market to absolutely explode very soon. But before we hop on into this one, if you guys are looking to pick up any CSGO skins, I've got a couple links in the description and let's hop on into it. The first thing we got to talk about is past trends. Now, past trends play a huge role in investing for the future into CSGO. Unfortunately, we don't really know what decisions are going to be made up at the headquarters. Like you see, Stockholm 2021 items were way past December 20th removal date. So there's definitely a lot of things that played into the relative unknown future that Valve is going to bring us. However, we can really rely on these past trends, especially when we're looking at this graph, to give us a little insight for the future here. Here, looking at the sticker capsule 2 graph, you can see pretty major bumps here. You can see one of them kind of around that September 1st date, and that was a couple years ago. Then one around that July 31st date, and that's in 2020. And then recently in 2021, we had that big summer spree where you can see the price go absolutely crazy right around the beginning of June here. Now, one very important thing is that between these spikes, we had ups and downs for everything. Now, I'm showing the sticker capsule 2 because it's a great example. You're able to see really well the spikes and dips of what happened here. This one is very important because you can kind of see each one, how it wasn't just a smooth path straight across and then it goes absolutely crazy and then comes back down super quickly. This, you can see that there is definitely ups and downs in each of the graph here, and this is starting to look exactly like what we're seeing right now. As you can see, we had a pretty decent sized dip right when Riptide came out, which is something that is the exact same when Shattered Web and Broken Fang came out. Both of those caused a huge dip in what was the price of this. And over the span of the operation, the prices stayed relatively close to what they started at. Obviously, we had some ups and downs here, but you can see that relatively the price stayed somewhat close to what it started at. Then, as soon as the operation ends, we can see the prices start to slowly creep up and then shoot up very quickly. This is something that people are looking towards Riptide to do. As we can see, the prices have relatively been on a little bit of a downtrend here, which is honestly very similar to all the rest of them. Then we see one big drop off, which is what we saw with the other ones. And then we start to see a little forward progress where that price starts to be pushing up a little bit more. Another big thing people are looking to is dreams and nightmares. Now, dreams and nightmares sounds a little bit intimidating because we don't even know what's in this case. However, this case is going to bring a lot of money to the market. And as weird as that sounds, I'm going to explain. Say it kicks out the clutch case. A lot of people are going to sell out their position in the clutch case, and they're probably going to use that money to invest back into CSGO in some other way, presumably something like the breakout, the glove, or anything like that. There's going to be a lot more money going to other investments. People aren't going to be buying up the clutch case as an investment at that point. And this is what we're seeing all around, is a lot of money is going into the clutch case and potentially the danger zone case like we saw before. People are spending tons of money on these cases, and they have been for a long time. These cases have been in the active drop pool for a significant amount of time, and that's given people so long to build up a stock of these for relatively cheap. Personally, at least the way I look at it, is if Dreams and Nightmares comes in and it kicks out the clutch case, we're going to see a lot of money being sold off from the clutch case, and those clutch cases then are going to be bought up by other people looking to buy the clutch case and potentially open it. Either way, there's a larger percentage chance that the people that buy it at that point are probably going to open it rather than keep it as an investment, which we know there's a 100% chance the people who bought this as an investment are keeping it as an investment. Therefore, the clutch case price is probably going to rise a bit, and we're going to see more sell-off there. That's the way I see it. I apologize if I didn't explain it the greatest there, but anyways, I think we're going to see a lot of money going away from the clutch case and into other cases that are the more popular, so to say, investments at this time, such as the glove or the breakout case. As I talked about in my previous video, we're also looking towards a potential bigger update for CSGO. Now, I talked about something absolutely crazy there. However, I do expect something decently big in the next month or two when Operation Riptide ends, when we get that potential Dreams and Nightmares case. I think there's going to be something fairly large to come along with it. I don't think that Valve is going to waste this opportunity, especially right now when they have these higher player numbers. We saw during the extended period where there was no big updates, we saw massive drops in player numbers. Now, what happened there was it also coincided a little bit with summer, and during the summertime, player numbers generally tend to go down a bit, so it wasn't something super out of the ordinary to see player drops. However, there was definitely a significant amount of people that were not playing the game, and it was because the operation ended and there was no new content being released into the game. I don't think Valve is necessarily going to care that much about the player drop. However, they're definitely getting a lot more money when people are a lot more involved in the game, and that's something an operation brings. Now, I think there's definitely going to be a large time period between the end of Riptide and the start of the new one. However, potentially you're looking at something that is a long, prolonged period of new, or at least decently new content into the game. And that's why I was leaning towards something big or something major happening, because people want to be interested in the game. However, Valve is kind of just sitting down and just not really caring too much. Finally, then, the largest big thing coming up in the near future that people are looking towards is the Chinese New Year. Now, the Chinese New Year is something I've talked pretty extensively about, just because it's something that plays a huge impact into the game. Right now, we saw Christmas, and honestly, Christmas saw a pretty decent boost for a lot of skins. I think it gave a lot of different items a boost it was looking for and it desperately needed. I think that the Chinese New Year and potentially everything to do with that has a large chance to kind of skyrocket this price point that we're currently sitting at. You're seeing a lot of items like the glove case, which is kind of stalled in price a little bit. Now it's definitely increasing, but you can see in the beginning of the graph it was going up much more quickly than it is now. And one thing I really haven't talked about was the Steam quote-unquote ban in China. I think that's absolutely ridiculous that people are trying to clickbait that into something it isn't. I mean, if Jesus is only making a 4-minute video on something, you know there's not a lot of things to be milked there, but we're seeing a lot of people just go ahead and milk that for an entire video saying, oh, well, it's actually a little bit of a bigger deal than you think. When something like this happens, then we got a super small chance of something like this happening, and it's just kind of frustrating because it's not going to have any impact on the game. People were already going around this. I think it's absolutely ridiculous to even consider something like that is going to have an impact on the market here. But that is really all I have for today, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and Happy New Year.